This is what the House is approving tonight. Cut 2 trillions of your services, increase the deficit by 2.8 trillions, and use those 4.8 trillions in tax cuts for the rich.
They convinced me in there. I'm a no.
Is there anything?
Look what, let me, their own numbers. If the Republican plan passes under the rosiest assumptions, which aren't even true, we're going to add $328 billion to the deficit this year. We're going to add $295 billion to the deficit the year after that, and $242 billion to the deficit after that, under the rosiest assumptions. Why would I vote for that? And they're trying to comfort some of the more moderate members and say, oh no, we're not doing anything to Medicaid with this bill.
Now what? That's probably the big question.
So
now what? There's a vote.
I feel like we were elected. Who disagrees with work requirements for single able-bodied recipients of Medicaid? Like, that's a 70-30, maybe 90-10 issue in America, and they're afraid to put that in writing? Give me a break.
Currently, I'm a no. There's about 5 of us that are no. I'm not sure why we're going for this vote right now. I'd love to, the 5 of us would love to. It seems that we've all kind of not been included in some of these discussions.
We're in the minority. But so long as we stand strong and not one Democrat falters, let me tell you, there are going to be Republicans that don't want to vote for this, and they can't lose more than one vote. So long as we stand together and so long as we're here, and the Republicans, they're dysfunctional. They can't get this done by themselves.
Is this a preview to how Democrats will message leading up to 2026?
Saying fuck off.
Just leaving the floor of the House after voting no on the Republicans' budget plan. Unfortunately, it passed because they hold the majority. I got to be honest, this is a devastating moment. They just put forward a budget that will mean gutting healthcare for 80 million Americans. We're talking about more than 40% of new moms and their babies. We're talking about almost half of all children in our country. We're talking about children who live with disabilities, and we're talking about our elderly in long-term care. This is a devastating blow to Americans across the country, but I want you to know this fight is not over. We're not giving up, and we need you to speak up too. Please use your voice. Tell your elected representatives that this is not okay. We're in this together.
And there you go, Republican voters. There you go. Your congressman, the people that you voted for, don't care about your livelihood. It's right there in black and white. You can go over the proceedings again. You can call them again if you want. You can hold another town hall. But they have told you with their vote on the floor today that they don't care what you say at all. And we kept telling you they were going to come after your Medicaid. We kept telling you they were going to come after those SNAP benefits. We kept telling you they were going to make those tax cuts for the wealthiest people in the country. But y'all had to win. And hey, look, I understand. You gotta win, right? Who does not love a sweet, sweet victory? But let's talk about how long this particular spending bill will be in effect. House Resolution Congressional Bill 14 is said to fund the government between the years of 2025 and 2034. That's it. That's it. There's a reason why they're not worried about your grandma's Medicare, because they are fully expecting her to not make it by the time this particular spending bill is over with. The defense spending is gonna go up though. All that military spending, that's going up. That's going way, way up. In fact, by the end of this spending bill, by 2034, spending on our military is expected to go from about $880 billion to $1.3 trillion. But you ain't getting no Medicaid. you ain't getting no SNAP. And your taxes will be going up. By the way, Trump bringing back them tariffs too. So was all of this worth the muskrat finding maybe less than $2 billion in waste, fraud, and abuse? I think these next 9 years of whatever's in this government spending bill is going to make a very interesting time in America. And I want to thank you for that.
So 24 minutes ago, Tuesday, February the 25th, it is 9:15. The House Republicans passed a bill to cut $2 trillion from mandatory spending. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP, plus more. Democrats tried to add amendments saying, oh, we just got to make sure we don't cut those. Republicans said, no, we're not adding those. So yeah, the Republicans are coming after your Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP benefits, and more. They refused to ensure that they were not protected under this new House bill. So, well, my dad's supposed to get his check tomorrow. I checked the bank today to make sure it's exact when it comes in.
So Trump's budget is in, and people are talking about it. And of course, it benefits the wealthy and does nothing for the average American. And while you're struggling to pay groceries, guess what Trump's doing? That's right. He's out spending millions of dollars playing golf. So let's break it down. Did you know that in 2017, President Trump lowered the corporate tax from 35% to a whopping 21%. Once again, saving billions for the corporation and nothing for us average Americans. And guess what? Now he wants to extend those cuts permanently. While the rich keep their tax breaks, this budget cuts up to $2 trillion. That's with a T, my friends. $2 trillion from programs like Medicaid, food assistance, which is SNAP, and education, which means fewer healthcare options for us, less food support, and higher education costs for millions of Americans. And did you also know that this will add $4.5 trillion, again T, to the deficit, which of course could lead to higher mortgage rates, higher rates on our loans to buy cars, our credit cards, which, you're not American unless you got at least 10 credit cards to live on, right? And the prices on all of our essentials, they just keep rising. Look at the price of eggs. I believe right now it went from $6.55 to over $8 for 12 eggs, people. Come on. Do you know since he's been in office, which has only been since January 20th, he's already spent 9 days golfing. But do you have any idea how much that costs the taxpayers? Only $10.7 million. So $10.7 million so he can go out and have his little leisure fun while we can't even afford to pay for eggs. Yeah, make America great again, that's for sure. So who really benefits from this budget? Wealthy individuals and the corporations, they get to keep their tax cuts, while middle and lower income Americans get cuts on their Medicare, their food assistance, and their education. We all face higher costs while Trump spends millions playing golf. So what do you think about Trump's promises before he got into office? Remember what he said he would do on day one? Do you think that he's all about that now? Do you think that this budget reflects what he promised before he got into office? Or is he just doing what he has always done, which is support the very wealthy people that he surrounds himself with? So what do you think? Let's talk about it, people, because this is our country and this is something that we need to pay attention to.
So the House has passed that horrible, horrible budget, the one with all the cuts to the American people, giving all of our hard-earned money to the top 1% billionaires. If the Senate moves forward with it, which I fully intend to think they will, we are screwed. While I don't need that kind of support, at least not now, there are so many others that do. You know, in 2018-19, my mother got really ill, but she had been living in an assisted living home. And she went through $350,000 in 4 years because people don't understand the cost of what it costs to be in a home like that. It was $5,000 a month to live in her assisted living home. She never got to the critical care level, which would have been $10,000 to $15,000 a month. You run through your money way faster than you realize. So people that are on Medicaid are people that have run out of money at the end of their life. People that are on Medicaid are children because their mother and father don't make enough money to support their medical care. People that have chronic illnesses like, I don't know, Parkinson's, ALS, those are the kind of people that are on Medicaid. And our House just voted to cut all funds to Medicaid for the American people while giving our money to the top 1%. It's a reverse Robin Hood situation. And yet the ones with the little red hats, oh, I'm so angry at them. I did another post and I decided to mute it because I was too angry in it. But let me just say to you with the little red hats, I want to thank you for screwing us, because while this hasn't passed the Senate yet, or they haven't come together quite yet, but I'm pretty sure they will, this is on you. Your ignorance and how things were done to convince you of a bunch of lies is why we are facing many American people that will probably pass away because of this, because they aren't going to get the care they need, or they're going to be homeless out on the street when they really need critical care. And to all of the GOP House and possibly the senators, you are officially fired, done, and canceled. You were so worried that the person at the top was going to cancel you. We, the American people, are pretty vengeful, and we will cancel you because you're not getting another vote, at least from those of us that saw it to begin with. And I'm pretty sure the ones that are going to suffer from it, the ones with the little red hats that were already suffering, they're never voting for you again. So either way, you're done. You're done, and you're done.
Wait, so were Trump and Elon trying to shut down the government? Okay, I mean, it's messy. So Trump wanted to raise the debt ceiling, which is like the credit card limit essentially for the government. Elon Musk was backing him up online, and it was causing a lot of drama. He doesn't even go here. I know, but he's running the Department of Governmental Efficiency now. So he's stirring the pot, and Trump even said, shut the government down now if we have to. Right, like, okay, so they can just like shut down the government? I mean, yeah, if they don't approve spending, millions of people that work for the government can't get paid. Okay, then why is it a big deal? Why can't we just have the money? Okay, so the debt ceiling is like the government's credit card limit. Once they hit it, they can't pay for things like Social Security, military salaries, disaster relief, etc. Okay, but I'm confused. Like, where is this money coming from? Who gives it to the government? Regular people, banks, companies, and even other countries like China and Japan. They buy treasury bonds, which are like IOUs for the government. In return, they get paid back with interest. Okay, so like, why didn't they just raise the limit and move on? Politics. Some people think that we need to keep borrowing so then we can keep things running, and other people just want to make sure that we don't get into more debt. So like, did they figure it out? Kinda. I mean, they have approved enough funding last minute until March 14th. Trump isn't even president yet. Girl, I know, and I'm tired. But there is not going to be an increase to the debt ceiling, and that will be debated next year. But they were able to approve $10 billion for farmers' aid and $100 billion for disaster relief. It's so much money. Girl, I know, this season of America is exhausting. Hey, this guy says that the government doesn't pay for Social Security. You know what? He's right. It is paid for by FICA taxes. What is FICA? It's the Federal Insurance Contributions Act. You know how, like, in your paycheck, it'll say FICA? That's where it gets taken out from, and then it goes into this little fund. Oh, I get it. So that automatically comes out of your paycheck, and then your employer matches it. But that money's, like, separate from the regular government. Yeah, it goes into like a separate fund. It's like a savings account, but just for Social Security. So it's that money that gets used to pay Social Security benefits to retirees, people with disabilities, and their families. Gotcha. So like what we were talking about earlier with the government spending doesn't have anything to do with this Social Security money, right? Social Security does not depend on the regular budgets. It's a completely separate thing. So it was my bad. I kind of misspoke. I was got ahead of myself because I'm trying to learn all this stuff, you know? No, totally. I feel like we're all learning, right? So now we know Social Security is completely separate, but it does get managed by the government. So there we have it.